We believe there's a spiritual war being waged every day on the men and women that God has called into ministry. People are stepping down or being asked to step down from ministry positions every day at a rate that can only be described as catastrophic.
We've been taught that the harder we work and the more we sacrifice, the more successful our ministries will be. Without doubt, ministry does require hard work and sacrifice, but we've been congratulated for sacrificing the wrong things. We've been celebrated for working hard in the wrong areas, and it's led to a record number of men and women in ministry burning out.
Why is this a problem that we care about? We care because we burned out, and it almost cost us everything. For years, we tried our best to break free from the effects of burnout, and we failed over and over again. That's when something incredible happened in our lives.
Why is this a problem you should care about? Because we believe without question, if you'd have known what we were going through, you could have been that lifeline that saved us.
Over the next few minutes, we want you to get ready to throw that lifeline, a lifeline that we so desperately needed all those years ago to so many that are drowning and need it right now. By 2014, we've been married almost 10 years, and I've been doing ministry on staff at churches for the previous 17 years. My grandfather was a pastor, and so was my dad, so I'd never really known anything other than a life of full-time ministry. I was working at a church with multiple campuses as an executive pastor, and we just had our third kid. Our family was growing, our church was growing. From the outside looking in, we had everything.
From the inside looking out, we'd been devastated by loss and were coming to grips with God calling us to something we couldn't understand. During the previous 2 years, we'd experienced 2 miscarriages that affected us both so differently. In the middle of recovering from that loss, my dad got sick and almost passed away. While we were trying to put together the pieces and find some sort of normal again, we both felt like God was calling us to step into something new that would require us leaving everything that we knew.
I felt completely empty. I felt blank. I felt like no one knew what I was going through, and I'm not even sure I knew how burned out I'd become. I began to isolate myself. I couldn't engage emotionally with my family, and I felt like the only way I could climb back to my health was to devote more time to my work.
It definitely felt like his job was the most important thing at that point. I knew that he loved me and our kids, but it all seemed like more than he could handle. It started out as anger, mostly because so many things felt like they were out of his control. And then eventually, it turned into apathy and withdrawal.
In the middle of all this, God made something very clear to me, and it probably saved my marriage, my family, probably even saved my life. The way I was choosing to do ministry was going to end up costing me everything. He wasn't calling us away from a bad situation. He was calling us to start something new. And to do that, we chose to walk away from what we had so that we could focus on who He was and what He was saying.
During that time of seeking and waiting, God gave us the vision for the rock and the river. As we talked and prayed about what it could be and what it all meant, the one thing I kept thinking was that I hoped this could be something that would save people from going through what we'd gone through.
God gave us a burden for people that have been impacted by ministry and compelled us to start the Rock and the River to be a life-changing catalyst in the lives of men and women who are burning out. Every day since, we've been fighting to save people 1 or 2 at a time from all the things that will end up costing them everything. We need your help now more than ever to take that 1 or 2 at a time and to make it more. "91% of pastors surveyed have experienced some form of burnout in ministry, and 18% say they are fried to a crisp right now. Less than half take a regular day off, and 85% have never taken a sabbatical. 50% of pastors surveyed feel so discouraged that they'd leave ministry altogether if they thought they could find another job. Why? Because 35% of them are afraid they'll be terminated if they work less than 50 hours a week. 72% of pastors have admitted that they only study the Bible when preparing for sermons or lessons, and almost half feel dissatisfied with their prayer life. 80% believe their pastoral ministry has negatively affected their families, and 33% believe it's been an outright hazard. 3/4 of pastors surveyed do not believe they have a good marriage. Think about that. 3/4 of pastors in ministry right now don't believe they have a good marriage. The facts show that men and women in ministry are struggling to maintain spiritual, physical, and emotional health. When you add the massive changes that we've all experienced together over the last few years and the growing awareness of depression and even suicide amongst pastors and church leaders, we believe the epidemic isn't coming, it's already here. The Rock in the River exists to do something about this. We want to be the lifeline you throw to start saving lives every day. For the individual, we offer one-on-one coaching. We have several multi-session coaching tracks to help people overcome obstacles, set goals, and learn how to do ministry in a safe and healthy way.
We also offer retreats. We're growing from 4 to 6 retreats this year. In addition to our 3 Rocks retreat, we're adding 2 brand new retreat experiences, Pursuit Marriage and Pursuit Ministry. These retreats will serve couples impacted by ministry as well as young adults that feel like God is calling them to a life of ministry.
Every month we host mutual mentorship groups called Tribes. These are online opportunities for church leaders to connect with each other no matter where they are in the world, to be encouraged and experience life-changing community.
For couples, we offer premarital counseling. Most of the time, we don't even know what we're getting ourselves into when it comes to ministry, but our spouses rarely know what to expect. We believe that when a couple can get started on the right track, it's much easier to stay on the right track.
That's right. We're also excited to announce we got a brand new retreat experience for married couple called Pursuit Marriage. We know that the way we do ministry can have a huge impact on our marriages, and sometimes there's some repair work needed. This retreat starts the process of repairing any potential damage done, points each couple impacted by ministry back to the love of the Father that sets the tone for their love for each other.
And for the church, we offer online resources. To better reach pastors and church leaders wherever they are, we're developing new online courses that can be done remotely and at the user's own pace. We believe this will be helpful for individuals as well as church staff teams.
Speaking of staff teams, we have something we call the Staff One Day. And this is a condensed one-day version of our 3 Rocks retreat that happens on site with church leaders and their staff. A full-day experience that will end with each staff member walking away having clarified who the Bible says they are and what their purpose is. We believe strongly that God has challenged us to make sure that money never becomes an obstacle when it comes to what we offer.
Most of what we offer is available to those in need at no charge. Your support will make these lifelines possible.
We're asking 10 people to pledge $500 a month for the next 12 months. This promise will allow us to serve the people we're trying to reach at a full-time level.
If you're ready to make a huge impact today, we're asking 6 people to give $5,000 to cover the cost of an entire retreat.
We're believing for 15 donations of $1,000, which will sponsor 15 individuals to participate in a retreat, a full 6-session coaching track, as well as access to the online resources available. We know without a doubt that you can save lives by getting involved with the Rock in the River today. The great news is you're already here. It's never been easier for you to become a part of the solution.
If you want to sponsor someone for a retreat, sponsor an entire retreat, or just give a gift today, click on One Time at the top of the box.
One Time. That was a great song. If you're excited about becoming one of our monthly supporters, make sure to click monthly. It's got a little heart next to it. And remember that 10 commitments of $500 per month hits our biggest goal of making it possible for us to serve church leaders full time.